Hi, Thomas, here today. What's the injury team news ahead of Forest on Sunday, please?
The one that was available for Slavia will be available for Forest. Just had straight off the training pitch. It was a difficult question. Yeah.
Anything to report on Dom? Because in the last hour he's posted an hourglass emoji with a picture of him. Is that good news then? Can we expect him back soon?
Yeah, I guess it's good news when he posted there. As I said with Dom, because I think it's obviously his injury he picked up in July, so it's dragged on for a while. So I much more prefer, instead of saying he's back soon or when all that, when he's training fully with the team and he is available for selection or compete for that, that's where I will say something. Of course, there will hopefully be lots of footage with him training and all that. But yeah, that's my message.
Okay. Newcastle away, then Brentford and Slavia Prague. Goals, goals, goals. Have you sort of taken the handbrake off a little bit? What's changed over that week, or anything?
I don't think we actually taken the handbrake off. I just think we work with the things. Football is so beautiful, simple sometimes, but also so complicated. And I think a lot about the relationship, the team being a little bit in sync, the right players being sharp and in form. All of that at the same time helps. So obviously, three players I would like to mention. Of course, Richie is probably not in his best form ever, maybe, but in a very good place, and also physically. Mo Kudus is after the great start to the season, a little dip and a minor injury, back in full energy, looking sharp. Xavi is performing as a good top level, so those three just together just give the offensive part of the game much more.
Bit of a light-hearted final one for me. Christmas mood. If the players can get a good result at Forest, Liverpool and Palace, there's a lot of big darts fans in the squad. Will they be allowed to go and watch the darts with your permission?
Yeah, I think every player have their own hobbies and what they think is interesting, so I always expect them to be professional and 24/7 pros. So if they go theatre or the darts, it's up to them.
Jake. Hi, Thomas. I know you said that things have come together, the attacking players you just mentioned, those three. But has it also felt like has the mood felt different in the last couple of weeks around the club?
Yeah, wins and good performance always helps. No doubt about that. That just makes things a little bit lighter and everything is a little bit more positive. So of course that means something. But it's ongoing. How can you say? Work to constantly improve. So that's part of it.
What would you say then has clicked between those three that you mentioned?
I think it's just the one simple thing. All three of them in form and sharp and confident at the same time. That helps something definitely. And the relationship and the principles and the patterns we're working with also just getting better and better.
And just lastly, then, obviously you'll never say that any team is necessarily an easy game, and I'm not saying that Forest is going to be an easy game, but with picking up a couple of wins, maybe a more preferable fixture coming up this weekend against a team that you'd fancy yourself to go and get another win.
I guess you have seen Sean Dyche's teams over the years.
I have.
Are they easy or difficult to play against?
Difficult.
Very difficult. I expect a very, very difficult game against a team who's managed by a good colleague, friend of me in the game, and every single time I see his team, everything I'm analyzing, they are extremely competitive. Then they play home. That's a difficult place to go. So I expect a tough game. I think we are in a fine place, not exceptional place, but I think we're in a fine place. I think we've been good away from home. I think we've been very competitive. I expect us to go there with confidence and belief, and I expect us to go there with a good chance of getting 3 points, but I also expect it to be unbelievably difficult.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Ian, please. Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You mentioned there your friendship with Sean Dyche. Explain how football managers' friendships work, because I mean you're always busy on a training ground. He's always busy on a training ground. You're flying up to Newcastle or away to Paris. He's going somewhere. I mean, do you ever go out for a drink together? I mean,
Yeah, well, I think of course it's some you meet with in different circumstances for whatever reason why we come together and as coaches talk about life and football. And I think it's fair to say that we are the only one that really understand each other. We are in the same together and dealing with the same problems and the same all sort of things. So I think that's a bit. I think that's nice to share experiences and thoughts with good colleagues, friends there. So of course when we play against each other, it's very competitive.
Must be a great night out for your wife and his wife when you're talking just football.
Yeah, definitely.
2 weeks ago I came here. It was post Paris Saint-Germain. Spurs were on a bit of a downer. Now suddenly it's the other way around. And it seems this season it's always been feast or famine. It's been a roller coaster. How do you get more consistent? Because I guess you'd rather be boring and more consistent along a line than 1 week up and next week down.
Yeah, but I think if you look into performances, I think it's about having consistent performances, and then some of the consistent performances doesn't necessarily pay off in a good result. So those performances I think have been fairly consistent. I think there's been 3 games I'm very unhappy with in terms of performances. The rest have been, with quite a good stuff in them, and some of them very good. And that's just ongoing work to keep getting us more consistent, to keep competing every single game. With the competing in all different competitions, so that's quite normal. That will take a little bit of time.
Finally, you mentioned quite a few players that have contributed for you recently: Jeremy Simmons, Kudus, obviously Richarlison. One player who seems to have also contributed, because now he's finally being played in a position he might even have been bought by the club to play in, is Archie Gray. It seemed like last season he was played everywhere bar where he wanted to play and in goal. Is that what you've seen, and are you doing it deliberately, playing him now in the position that you think he's best in?
Yeah, I think I like what I see from Archie. I think he's a very talented young player with a big potential, and I think we've seen glimpses of that now. I think I said a few times before the Monaco game, he was really on a high and really ready to kick on. Unfortunately, got the calf injury. Now I think he's back in a place where he's really ready to compete again. I like what I've seen from him. Everything from Burnley game in the beginning of the season to those bits in the Fulham game I liked from him. I think there was definitely very good bits in the Brentford game and also in the Slavia game.
Ali. Hello, Thomas. Obviously, you've had such a madcap kind of fixture schedule recently, and you finally got 2 days off. I just wondered, how does Thomas Frank unwind? How do you kind of recharge your batteries in just 2 days?
Of course, try to just relax a bit with time with my wife, and maybe see some friends for lunch or dinner. But I must say there's still bits to be done. So unfortunately, these 2 days was not purely days off, but at least I was at home. But there was meetings I had to prepare, bits and pieces. So that I think the fully next really day off where I do nothing football is maybe in March. So there's also a transfer window coming up, and there's just so many things, and it's still new into the job, and so a lot of things.
About your fullbacks, obviously no Destiny for a little while. You've got the 2 kind of natural ones, but we saw Ben Davies come back the other day, and he got a great ovation from the crowd as well. How important is he going to be in these coming weeks when you need to rotate?
Very important. Very good to have Ben out there first time of the season, I think, actually, playing minutes. So yeah, I would say we missed him with his injuries, and now he's good and ready. So that's important.
Do you see him more as a left back in your team rather than centre back he was?
I think he can both play left back and centre back.
Yeah. Brendan Johnson, obviously he wasn't available for Slavia. What's wrong with him, and when can we expect him back?
Minor thing. I expect him to be available for Forest.
Okay, and
He's trained today. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Just a very quick one on Dom, only because of the social media posts and the way you kind of phrase that about you'll tell us when he's fully training with the team. Can we assume he's just training by himself at the moment?
He is, yeah.
On the grass?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Finish with George, please.
Thomas, sorry, has he kicked a ball yet?
I'm happy to answer all these questions. I'm just getting a little bit bored of them because it doesn't. Let's talk about forwards. It's much more interesting. So much better news when say now he's training fully with the team. He's available soon. But I know you guys need to ask questions, of course.
Archie Gray, sorry, I know you mentioned him before, but you tried to sign him at Brentford, didn't you? And then Tottenham have took him off. Can you just explain how close you were and what you liked about him last season, and sort of, because it seemed like it was really close, and then Spurs swooped in at the last minute. So what did you admire about him last season?
I think what I like about Archie, I think he's very good on the ball. I like he plays with his head up, so he can play short. He can drive with the ball. The pass for Pedro Porro for the penalty against Slavia was an excellent pass, perfectly weighted, playing in behind. Great capacity to cover the pitch. Good pressing skills, and I think he's young, but he has very good characters. I think he could be a leader in the future.
Just in terms of your 25 games into Sundays, your Tottenham reign, I just want, as a manager, how long does it take sometimes to just get buy-in from the players that they're being taught a new philosophy, a new way of playing, and has that been sort of shadowed in the form really, in that November it was a bit patchy and now you started December really well? Does it take a while for the players just to get into what you want from them?
I think it's, I think there's a lot of things also when you play a lot of games and you need to rotate and you try to find your team and all that. So it's not only about what I want. There's also a lot of circumstances that make it a little bit more tricky to make sure we are going to be where we want to be as quick as possible. But I experienced a buy-in straight from the off. I think the PSG game where we played one system, 3 days later another system against Burnley was two good signs of what they are willing to go all in. City a little bit after. Then we had let's say some results didn't go our way, and now it's positive. That's all part of the journey. Going forward, there will hopefully be even longer spells of good performances and wins. But there will still also be some downs, and we need to get through that. So I think the only way to get closer and closer to each other is time, and working on relationships, and working on understand each other's ideas. That's the biggest thing. And then it is how we together handle the bad spells, because there will be bad spells. How do we handle them?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there.